Most indoor cats aren't harmed by one big mistake. It's the tiny habits, repeated every single day. The ones most owners never think twice about. The surprising part is that almost all of them come from love. We leave food out because we don't want our cats to go hungry. We assume hairballs are just part of being a cat. We fill our homes with scents that make us feel comfortable. But what if some of those everyday habits are quietly doing more harm than good? And once you understand how your cat actually experiences the world, you may never look at your daily routine the same way again. Many cat owners assume that if the water looks clear and the filter is replaced on time, the fountain must be clean. But that's one of the most common misconceptions. Simply topping off the water every day isn't enough. Over time, a thin layer called biofilm can build up inside the fountain, especially in the pump and narrow tubing. Think about the slippery film you've probably felt inside an old reusable water bottle that hasn't been scrubbed in a while. That's exactly the kind of surface where bacteria love to grow. And simply adding fresh water won't remove it. This matters even more for cats because they naturally drink less water than many other animals. If a fountain develops an unusual smell or a buildup of biofilm, some cats may quietly start drinking less without their owners ever noticing. Over time, poor water intake can contribute to urinary tract problems, which are already common in cats. That's why most manufacturers recommend replacing the water every day, cleaning the entire fountain at least once a week, and changing the filter on schedule. It only takes a few minutes, but it's one of the easiest ways to support your cat's long-term health. A water fountain can't clean itself, and sometimes the dirtiest part is the one you never see. But even if your cat's water is perfectly clean, there's another place many owners accidentally leave dirty for just one more day. And for some cats, that single day is enough to make them avoid it altogether. Many people assume that when a cat starts peeing outside the litter box, it's being spiteful or trying to get revenge. But in reality, that's one of the biggest misconceptions about cat behavior. Imagine being forced to use a toilet that hasn't been flushed since yesterday. That's what a dirty litter box feels like to many cats. And because a cat's sense of smell is far more sensitive than ours, they notice unpleasant odors long before we do. In the wild, cats instinctively bury their waste to hide their scent from predators and potential rivals. A dirty litter box can make that space feel unsafe or unhygienic, even if it doesn't seem that bad to you. That's why both the American Association of Feline Practitioners, AAFP, and the International Society of Feline Medicine, ISFM, recommend scooping waste at least once a day, along with regularly cleaning and replacing the litter. Here's the surprising part. Many litter box accidents aren't behavioral problems at all. The box simply isn't clean enough for the cat's standards. Some cats will even hold their urine, look for another place to go, or stop using the litter box altogether. Scooping takes just a few minutes a day, but it can make your cat feel safe enough to maintain one of the most important habits for its health. So far, every mistake we've covered has been simple to fix. But the next one is different, because millions of loving cat owners do it every single day without realizing the long-term consequences. A bowl that's always full may look like an act of love, but for many indoor cats, it can also be the first step toward obesity. Many people believe cats naturally know when to stop eating, and some do, but not all of them. Modern indoor cats are far less active than their wild ancestors. Food is available around the clock, while opportunities to climb, explore, chase, and hunt are often limited. Here's the interesting part. In the wild, cats don't eat from a constantly full bowl. They spend much of their day searching for and hunting several small prey animals. In other words, they work for their meals. They don't simply walk a few steps to the food bowl and go back to sleep. That difference is one of the biggest reasons why obesity has become so common in indoor cats. According to the World Small Animal Veterinary Association, WSAVA, and the American Association of Feline Practitioners, AAFP, obesity is one of the most common health problems in pet cats, increasing the risk of diabetes, arthritis, urinary tract disease, and many other chronic conditions. For most healthy cats, measured portions divided into several small meals are a better option than leaving food out all day. If you're unsure what's right for your cat, ask your veterinarian. Loving your cat isn't about keeping the bowl full. It's about helping them stay healthy for a lifetime. Many people assume bad breath is just part of having a cat. But in reality, it's often one of the earliest signs that something isn't right inside the mouth. According to the American Veterinary Dental College, AVDC, about 70% of cats over the age of 3 have some form of periodontal disease. What's surprising is that most owners never realize it because cats are incredibly good at hiding pain. They may continue eating, playing, and acting almost completely normal even while living with inflamed gums or painful teeth. Imagine having a toothache every time you chew, but never being able to tell anyone. That's the reality for many cats. Over time, plaque and tartar allow bacteria to build up, leading to gum disease, painful chewing, and even tooth loss if left untreated. Research also suggests that chronic inflammation in the mouth may affect other organs throughout the body. If your cat has persistent bad breath, drools more than usual, chews on only one side, or suddenly loses interest in dry food, it's time to schedule a veterinary dental exam. Cats are experts at hiding pain. But hidden doesn't mean harmless. And the earlier dental disease is detected, the easier and often less painful it is to treat. Not every hidden danger comes from disease, though. Some begin with the familiar scents we use every day to make our homes smell fresh and inviting. Natural products have a reputation for being safe. But when it comes to cats, that's not always true. An essential oil diffuser may make your home smell relaxing to you, but a cat's body processes certain compounds very differently from ours. According to the ASPCA Animal Poison Control Center, essential oils such as tea tree, eucalyptus, peppermint, and some citrus oils can be harmful if cats inhale concentrated vapors, ingest the oils, or come into direct contact with them. What makes cats especially vulnerable is how they groom themselves. They essentially clean their entire bodies with their tongues every day. If oil residue settles on their fur or paws, they may swallow it while grooming. That's why signs of poisoning don't always appear while the diffuser is running. They can develop later, after the cat has licked the residue from its coat. If your cat starts drooling, vomiting, acting unusually lethargic, trembling, or having difficulty breathing after exposure to essential oils, contact your veterinarian as soon as possible. If you enjoy using essential oils, take time to research each one carefully and make sure your cat can't come into direct contact with it. What's safe for people isn't always safe for cats. If you've made it this far, you're already avoiding some of the most common mistakes cat owners make. But the next few may surprise you even more, because they're often mistaken for completely normal cat behavior. One of the most common myths about cats is that hairballs are completely normal. The truth is, that's only true to a point. Cats naturally swallow loose fur while grooming themselves. What many owners don't realize is that most of that fur passes through the digestive tract and leaves the body in the stool, not through vomiting. A healthy cat shouldn't need to vomit regularly just to get rid of hair. Imagine if you had to throw up every week just to keep your body functioning normally. You probably wouldn't consider that healthy. The same idea applies to cats. According to many veterinarians, frequent hairballs can be a sign of excessive shedding, overgrooming caused by stress, skin disease, or even an underlying digestive problem. If your cat starts vomiting more often, loses its appetite, begins losing weight, vomits repeatedly, or repeatedly tries to bring up a hairball without success, it's time to have your veterinarian take a closer look. Regular brushing, a balanced diet, and simply paying attention to how often hairballs occur can help you spot problems much earlier. An occasional hairball may be perfectly normal, but frequent hairballs shouldn't become something we simply accept. By now you've probably noticed a pattern. Many serious health problems don't start with dramatic symptoms. They begin with small signs that are easy to overlook. One of the biggest reasons cats arrive at the veterinarian too late is because they still look perfectly healthy. But with cats, looking healthy doesn't always mean they are healthy. In the wild, cats are both predators and prey. That means they've evolved to hide pain and illness for as long as possible. A weak animal is more likely to become a target, so even today's indoor cats still have that instinct. As a result, many illnesses don't become obvious until they've already progressed. That's why the American Association of Feline Practitioners, AAFP, recommends that healthy adult cats have a wellness exam at least once a year. Senior cats and those with chronic conditions often benefit from more frequent checkups. These visits can detect problems like kidney disease, hyperthyroidism, high blood pressure, and dental disease long before your cat starts acting differently. A wellness exam isn't about looking for problems, it's about finding them before your cat has to suffer from them. Early detection often means simpler treatment, lower costs, and a much better outcome. Don't wait until your cat stops eating or shows obvious signs of illness before scheduling a visit. By the time cats let you know they're in pain, they've often been hiding it for much longer than we realize. When people think about household dangers for cats, chemicals and toxic plants usually come to mind first. But some of the biggest risks are ordinary household items we barely think about. Take string, yarn, ribbon, or sewing thread, for example. To a cat, they don't look dangerous. They look like prey. Their movement naturally triggers a cat's hunting instinct, making these objects incredibly tempting to chase, pounce on, and bite. The real danger begins if they're swallowed. Unlike food, long, string-like objects can become trapped inside the digestive tract while the rest continues moving through the intestines. This can lead to a serious condition called a linear foreign body, which may require emergency surgery and can become life-threatening if left untreated. That's why veterinarians recommend keeping string, ribbon, dental floss, sewing thread, and similar items out of your cat's reach. Interactive play is wonderful, but these objects should never be left out for cats to play with on their own. Sometimes it's the simplest things in our homes that carry the greatest risk. And preventing an emergency can be as easy as putting them away after use. Not every behavior we want to stop is actually a problem. In fact, some of the things that frustrate cat owners the most are completely natural and incredibly important for a cat's well-being. Many people believe cats scratch furniture simply to sharpen their claws or because they're being destructive. But scratching is actually a completely natural behavior, and it's important for much more than claw maintenance. When cats scratch, they stretch the muscles in their shoulders, back, and legs while removing the worn outer layer of their claws. Just as importantly, their paws contain scent glands that leave behind invisible chemical signals. Every scratch marks the area as familiar and helps cats feel more secure in their environment. From your cat's perspective, your favorite couch may actually be the perfect scratching post. It's sturdy, tall enough for a full body stretch, and carries the scent of the people they feel safest around. That's one reason cats are often drawn to furniture instead of the scratching post we carefully bought for them. Rather than trying to stop scratching altogether, the better approach is to provide attractive alternatives. Place sturdy scratching posts near favorite sleeping areas or beside the furniture your cat already uses, and reward them whenever they choose the post instead. Scratching isn't your cat trying to ruin your home. It's your cat trying to care for its body, communicate, and feel secure. But that brings us to the final, and perhaps the most overlooked, mistake of all. Because even if your cat is healthy, well-fed, and has plenty of places to scratch, one essential need may still be missing. Many people believe that if a cat has good food, fresh water, and a comfortable place to sleep, it has everything it needs. Those things are essential, but they aren't the whole picture. In the wild, a cat's day is filled with purpose. It climbs, explores, stalks, hunts, solves problems, and constantly interacts with its environment. An indoor cat, on the other hand, may spend much of the day eating, sleeping, and waiting for something to happen. Even in a loving home, that lack of mental stimulation can lead to boredom, frustration, and stress. Behavior experts often refer to this as environmental enrichment, providing opportunities for cats to express their natural instincts in safe, healthy ways. Puzzle feeders, climbing shelves, scratching posts, interactive play sessions, and even changing the location of toys can all make a meaningful difference. The goal isn't to keep your cat busy every minute of the day. It's to give them regular chances to do what they were born to do. A happy cat isn't simply one that lives longer. It's one that gets to climb, explore, hunt, and make choices every single day. When we start seeing the world through a cat's eyes instead of our own, many everyday habits suddenly look very different. And sometimes, those small changes become the greatest acts of love we can give them. If there's one thing I hope you remember, it's this. Most mistakes cat owners make don't come from a lack of love. They come from not seeing the world the way cats do. The good news is that small changes can make a big difference. Which of these mistakes have you been making without realizing it? Let me know in the comments. And if you'd like to better understand your cat through science-backed insights, be sure to subscribe to Cat Decoded. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.